there's been a huge update with one of the most hyped projects going around at the moment. Let's jump in and see what's happening with Psychedelics Anonymous. First up, I want to say if you could hit up that like button, it really does help out with the YouTube algorithm. Also, down the bottom I've got chapters so you can fast forward to the sections that you want to help you navigate the video easier. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your own research before jumping into the NFT space. So Psychedelics Anonymous have released their website, they have released their Discord, their Twitter's blowing up, and the founder has doxed himself and the team. Now I know that this screen's a little bit trippy, but I actually covered this video on the 16th of November. Now you can actually go check out that video up here if you'd like, but this video is kind of more like the update and it kind of makes that video irrelevant right now because we've got more information. But essentially then, the promo was doing the rounds. Now the promo was absolutely insane, it was huge. And on Twitter, you can see here, it's got 184,000 views on Twitter. And the reason that I did jump in and cover it is that the promo and the hype around this project was crazy, and they've actually gone a Twitter then Discord. Usually a Twitter and Discord kind of launch at the same time, but the Twitter was going off. The promo went hyped, then there was whitelists given away on Twitter, which meant that there was a lot of buzz, and that's what you were seeing when they were kind of doing a bunch of these whitelist giveaways, and this is all before the Discord. So it meant that there was a sense of community being built on Twitter before the Discord, which is kind of an interesting way and a different way to actually kind of flip the narrative when it comes down to the project, which I really like. So when it comes down to the website, you've got a similar style imagery of the promo when it comes down to the website, which is nice to see. It's very congruent and it fits in with the brand. We are the night, beneath the daylight, where we sleep, the orchestral avalanche of passing cars and mechanical grind of the system that enslaves us has left us haunted and empty. As we push and pull, we rise and fall into the crowded noise like static, the constant clouding of our sunshine minds. Where this is starting to kind of build the narrative is there is a big emphasis on mental health when it comes down to this project and the use of psychedelics to actually kind of help out with that and psychedelic treatment. So that's where some of these words and these thoughts and imagery actually come into it. And it's nice to see that they're kind of building essentially what you would call the lore around the project and building that out and explaining it a little bit on the website, because it's very nice to see something on Twitter. It's relevant and it's congruent on the website, and it also translates over onto the Discord, which we'll jump into that shortly. So the other thing about Psychedelics Anonymous that's cool is the fact they've doxed themselves. So we've got Lewis Gale, he is the founder. Now, what is good is you've got founder of Vultura Labs, but he's also got managing director of Vultura.com. And the reason he's got his name and his previous titles here, this is actually quite good because we've got a brief overview of what he says he's done in his business career, which is nice to see. Now, what you can actually do is you can actually go to a place like LinkedIn, look for Lewis Gale, and you can see that he is in the Greater Sydney area. Shout out Sydney, that's where I'm recording this from right now. So with Lewis Gale, you can actually see his LinkedIn profile here. You see he's got 500 connections, and you can see Vultura.com. When you actually head over to Vultura.com, you can actually see the website and the brand here. Now the fact is, Lewis says that he's stepping down from Vultura.com to work on Vultura Labs, which is what the Psychedelics Anonymous sort of NFT and brand will be launched around. Now the other thing that you can do is you can look up Vultura Labs or Vultura, and because we're in Australia, ABN lookup is essentially the Australian business number lookup, and this is all available to anyone to kind of search for and look for. You can actually see that it has been registered since 2016, and then you can see all the iterations here in Vultura Labs and Psychedelics Anonymous. So the good thing about Lewis actually kind of doxing himself and not even trying to hide what the previous aspects of his business was with the Vultura.com, this lets you actually kind of jump in and do this research and do this due diligence. Now, it might be a little bit harder for someone in the US that doesn't understand how this all works and connects, but you would have similar things over in the US. And this is good because it means you can actually dive in, jump in and have a look and see if all the dots actually do connect, which then leads to a lot of confidence when it comes down to the strength of the project. The other people rounding out the project, we've got Adam Sullivan, and he's the creative director of Vultura Labs. Now, what is really nice is that he's actually got some advisors on board. Now, some of these advisors are actually on the NASDAQ, so they're actually listed, publicly listed companies. Now, the fact they've got advisors that are actually listed on the NASDAQ, so they're a publicly traded company, it shows the foresight of Lewis and the team. What they want to be doing is they eventually want to build up a brand that they can then sort of go public with. They want to kind of launch a big company, because you do have big private companies, but to get to a company that's worth billions and billions of dollars, it's usually a publicly traded company with lots of access to cash and resources that they can then reinvest into it. So that's why I see this as a bullish sign. Having advisors that are CEOs of publicly traded companies is a very good sign. And the other thing, we've got Nick, and he is the Chief Commercial Officer of Mawson as well. Now, rounding out the team, we have Kate Mahoney, and it says that she is going to be the event manager. Now, I think this is crucial because I understand that NFTs are in the kind of virtual space, but having a physical, real world event manager is crucial and key to kind of building up the ecosystem, building up the brand when you actually kind of want to do these physical in-person events. And they don't have to be big, crazy events, just any kind of event. You actually need that. And then you've got Joshua Connolly, who is the creative lead. And then you've got Matt Lim, who is the lead developer. So with these types of people on the team and the fact that they've doxed themselves, it kind of shows a little bit of strength. And the fact that Lewis has doxed himself, and you can actually kind of follow the breadcrumbs to kind of see where things originate, it gives you a little bit more confidence when you are researching the team behind Psychedelics Anonymous. Now, before we get over and have a look at their Discord, we're going to jump in and have a look at their roadmap. Now, first up, they're going to be doing a donation, and it's going to be providing an organization with psychedelic assisted therapy. So essentially, doing more testing on this, and I'm also hoping that the organization is able to kind of lobby and push what they think is good alternative treatments than we currently have. You've then got the mint, and then they're going to be having some support for all the holders, and then some games. Now, I really like the in real life and virtual play to earn games. Now, the in real life games, this comes back to Kate and her aspect when it comes down to events. So this is why when you start reading between the lines, when you've got an event manager that can do actually physical real world events, and then when they actually want to be doing games that are in real life, this is where you can kind of start to read between the lines and get a little bit more information. And then another part of the roadmap that really does kind of kick into the future growth of where I think they want to go is they're going to be doing, first off, an investment into sort of psychedelic assisted therapies, but also they want to have capital funding for Web3, so Web3 Accelerator. So they could then turn Psychedelics Anonymous / Vultura Labs into a seed funding play where they can then invest in things and then sort of draw more capital out of the investments that they've made that kind of work really well and build on that. So that's why I feel like having those advisors that are listed and publicly traded companies, this is where some of the strategic aspects of the play actually come. And then continuing on, they're going to be having a token, the PSY token, and it's going to have real utility, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with that, because I think tokens are only good when the utility works within the ecosystem itself. And then they've got a DAO. Now it'll be interesting to see how the DAO actually ties in with the psychedelic therapies and see if it's that way or if the DAO is going to be more NFT based. You've then got metaverse integration. So what I can see here is taking those characters and then being able to use them in the metaverse. Now this is all just speculation from what I'm seeing in the roadmap, and then explore the unknown. So they do plan to expand on the roadmap after this. Now, when we head over and have a look at Psychedelics Anonymous Twitter, they've got 54,000 followers. They had 19,000 followers on the 16th of November. So we're about sort of 2.5 weeks into it, and they have almost tripled their followers when it comes to Twitter. And then having a look at Lewis's followers, he's got 76,000 followers, and he had around 46 on the 16th of November. And real quick, that's why doing these videos when things launch and things start is good, because it almost acts as a timestamp, so you can kind of see where things are going. You can actually go back in and check out the video and have a look at the stats that I reported on, and you can kind of get a chance to kind of see how projects are progressing. Now, Lewis has been the main driving force when it comes down to it, and that's why he's got more followers when it comes down to the project itself. And then jumping over onto their Discord, we can see here they've got 12,500 members in their Discord, and they've got some sneak peeks here that you can kind of check out. Now, my interpretation of the art is the fact that people are wearing masks, and they say that when someone is trying to hide their pain when it comes down to possibly a mental health issue, they may be wearing a mask. They may be putting on a mask to show the world one thing when they actually mean something underneath. So what I really like is that the artwork is congruent with what their mission is, and I really like that. And you can also see down here they actually have a mental health channel that they will be kind of doing stuff in, which is nice, because this is what I'm saying, they're congruent from the Twitter to the website to the Discord. So it's nice that that flow-on effect does kind of kick in. Now, when it comes down to the whitelisting that Psychedelics Anonymous will be doing, they're actually going to be getting a Twitter account, and they're sort of building a script to kind of make this work, so they can then send out the whitelist invites to the people on Twitter. So the Twitter account that you should keep in mind is psychedelic_WL_. And this is an official link from their Discord, so that's the one that you should trust. Also, be careful to look out for fake accounts that will kind of reach out to try to get your address and then maybe ask you to kind of send money. So be aware of this. So if you think that you are eligible to be on the whitelist, what I'll do is head over to their Discord and follow the link from their Discord, and then follow that account, this account here. Don't trust what you see in the links below that may be in the comments, because they could be alternative accounts. But what I'll do is have a look at that, follow that, because what they will be doing is then essentially messaging people out to then get them onto the whitelist. That's how they're kind of doing it. So be aware of that when it comes down to the whitelist. So what do I think of Psychedelics Anonymous? The way that the promo runs have happened on Twitter, and the fact that this was all set up before things were put on the Discord, shows that the team are kind of thinking about the project in the NFT space different from everyone else, because the one way that you can stand out from the crowd when you've got a project is, are they doing something different? And it's very easy to then fall into the traps of following a Discord, doing invite competition whitelists, and kind of going that way. The fact that this is almost done differently and backwards shows that there is some thought that's gone into this project, and I feel like it's going to have a bit of a run up. I think the amount of hype that is around this project, if you can get on a whitelist, is going to work really well. I do think that once we get more details about the drop and the pricing, I think we're going to end up with what will be a very successful project upon launch. The fact that the team have doxed, there is a lot of hype, and it seems to be done very well and not fast and rushed, is very good. Now, where NFTs are currently heading towards is that we need a team that actually has business excellence and the ability to actually execute on a roadmap. A few months ago, it could just be an artist putting something together, getting a Web3 developer to kind of spin up a contract and website, and we're done. But where this is really moving towards is that the long-term high value projects are going to have a business team. This is where NFTs are going. So this is what you should kind of keep an eye out for. You should, even if you can't get onto the whitelist or want to move into this project, look at who is in the team and how they're connected and what they have actually done, because this is a good standing point for moving forward. There are lots of projects that I have covered that have had a Doxxed team, that have had busy business acumen behind them, which then pushed forward a project that's sitting well above mint price. And that's where I think this whole space is going. So overall, if you found value in this video, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really does help out, and it shows me that you like the content that I am producing. As always, it's been a pleasure having you with me. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.